Congressman Greg Murphy of the great state of North Carolina joins me now. Congressman, it's a bold plan. It's a bold idea. I've worked in the federal government. I can tell you, you could probably run those agencies with 20-30% less, maybe even more of the staff. And as we've all come to know, those buildings that line Constitution and Independence Avenue in Washington, D.C. are empty since COVID because folks aren't going to the office. So what do you think is going to happen here?
Tom, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. You know, people talk about, and President Trump has run on draining the swamp. Folks don't understand the elected officials are not the swamp. The unelected bureaucrats, the one who can literally outweight legislation that we passed, they did that in President Trump's first term, are the true swamp. And the fact that there is a volunteer effort to remove them and have them leave, I think is fantastic. Look, President Trump and his administration are very generous in giving them 8 months of severance pay. I wouldn't be that generous. I've run a business before, but I think it's great, and I think it is really going to come to fruition, so many of his promises to decrease the size of bureaucratic government.
The unions are not happy. They're trying to tell the workforce, don't do this. They're clearly going to lawyer up and try to prevent a lot of these reforms. But
they're voluntary. You don't have to do it. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And I hear Democrats saying, well, we're going to lose all of our best people like doctors and scientists and frankly, some of the scientists who came up with the COVID rules, they could probably retire and use to go. But I think that this is a bold plan that its time is long since come. So we'll see what happens. They say that as many as 10% of the workforce could actually, take Trump up on this offer. I want to move on, Congressman. I want to move on to the tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico. They're expected to take effect tomorrow. China is facing a 10% tariff. Canada, Mexico, 25%. Canada says it is ready with an immediate and forceful response if the tariffs are imposed. Mexico vowed to respond as well. Talk to us about the tariff plan, what you know of it, and then how this could impact our economy and everyday Americans.
Well, I believe in free trade, but when you don't have free trade, then extraordinary measures such as tariffs should be instituted. He did this with Canada and with lumber in his first administration. He's done it with China, which is absolutely a government-run trade system. There is no free trade there. And, he's a negotiator. This is what he does. My concerns are two. One is, here we are, we're trying to work through reconciliation. We're trying to get the tax cuts in. We're trying to do revenue raisers. We're trying to do things that are critical for our nation's infrastructure in through budget reconciliation. I don't believe tariffs should be used as part of the calculation for revenue. I believe they should be used to try to get free trade. I don't believe that we should count on them as a revenue source. It's fine if they come in, but I don't think that's part of the negotiation process.
All right, we're going to see what happens. D-Day is tomorrow for the tariffs. Congressman Greg Murphy, thank you so much for being with us.
All right, have a good evening.